Hey. So anyways, it's like 2 hours later and I feel much, much better. Sometimes you just gotta get through the humps. The humps. Get through the humps. That's the weird thing about this disorder. Or this disease or whatever you want to call it. Like, it's hour to hour. Minute to minute. Sometimes you feel really nice, and other times you don't feel really nice, and you just gotta wait it out. Gotta be patient. There's this girl named Rachel Maddows. Rachel Maddows, she's like this famous news anchor lady or something like that. Anyway, so she's like a lesbian, and she's dating. She married or dates this woman, and her marriage woman, whatever, partner has like severe suicidal depression. I don't know if she's clinically depressed or what the case is, but she gets like really low, and then she gets like really high, and then she gets really low. So she's probably bipolar or like borderline, who knows. And like Rachel Maddow's pep talk to her is like when she gets really depressed, like suicidal depressed. Rachel Maddows is like, okay, I know you're like really suicidally depressed right now, but think about like the last time you were happy, or think about a moment in your life where you were really happy, and know that this depression won't last, it'll just pass, and you'll have another happy moment again. The only problem with us is that roller coasters are so exhausting. It affects our relationships, our relationship with our family, our relationship with our partner if we have one, husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. I've been in mental institutions a lot, so I have. Huh. So, yeah, so I've been in mental institutions a lot. So I meet a lot of people. And I make really good friends there, and I make really good connections there because they're like my tribe. And my favorite place to be is in mental institutions. I really love being in mental institutions. I talk a lot about that in my ebook, how like I always feel at home there in mental institutions because everybody's a lot like me or just like me, and we can relate to each other, we understand each other, we talk to each other. They're like my tribe, they're like my family. So when I'm there in mental institutions, I really love it. I sometimes miss being there. So in these mental institutions I meet a lot of people and we really like each other. Sometimes I meet like my future wives and stuff like that, like, women I'm really attracted to because, like we have so much in common. Came from the same type of family, came from the same kind of abusive trauma, and, both had problems in childhood, poverty and growing up in poverty, and both most of the people you meet in mental institutions are bipolar or borderline or clinically depressed because pretty much everybody's there for, wanting to kill themselves. And so we really like each other, and like, we exchange phone numbers and stuff like that. And then you get out, and you message these people, you call these people that you met in the mental institution. And I like to call them half and half friends. Like the half and half stuff that you put in coffee or tea. Because they can't function enough to be in your life every day. The bipolar people, the clinically depressed people, the borderline people. They can't function high enough to be in your life every day, because their lows, their depression, their suicidal things are so they're so severe, or their anxiety is so severe when they reach those lows that they can't leave the house. They don't want to be outside. They don't want to be seen by people. So it's really hard to have a relationship with them, because they'll message you, say on like Friday, and they'll be like, yo, Joe, what's up, man? Like, let's hang out like this weekend. Yeah, definitely. I miss you, man. I want to hang out. So, like, I'm like, yeah, totally, man. Like, I'm free tomorrow. We could hang out tomorrow. So you call them on Saturday, or you message them. I don't call people, but, like, you message them on Saturday, and they don't reply. And you message them again, like, on Saturday night, and they don't reply. You're like, okay, I guess we're not hanging out today. And then, like, 4 days later, they'll message you, and they'll be like, oh man, I'm sorry, like I said, I wanted to hang out with you on Saturday, and I really did, because I miss you so much, and I love you, man, but, like, I was going through a really tough time, and, like, I was, like, super depressed and suicidal, and I just couldn't leave the house, and, like, but I'm sorry, man. And then they're like, yeah, but, like, let's hang out, like, this Friday night. Yeah, like, definitely let's hang out on Friday. So you're like, yeah, sure, man. Like, let's do it. And then Friday comes, and you message them. And you're like, hey, man, yo, it's Friday. You said you wanted to hang out. Let's hang out. And usually the same thing happens. Like, where they just can't spend time, or be friends. So most of the people you meet in mental institutions, they just become messaging friends on the phone. Because they can't function high enough to actually have a real loving relationship where they could actually spend time with another person, or jump outside of the self. And I completely understand that. Like, one of my good friends, she just called me and messaged me twice while I was filming this video in the last 9 minutes. She'll probably want to hang out today. I can't hang out with anybody today. And that's what I'm talking about. I'll probably be able to hang out with her tomorrow. And that's the shit. That's the motherfucking shit right there, man. Like, that's the disease. That's the disorder. That's the mental illness. I don't think I've ever had a successful relationship. I think it's been very challenging. And eventually, I get jealous of other guys, because I realize that I can't give the girl that I'm with, the attention, and the life that she needs. You know, like I can't really go out to restaurants. You know, I can't really, go out to parties that much. I can't really, there's so many things that I'm limited in, being social. Sometimes I'm scared of people. Sometimes I'm like paranoid. Sometimes I'm like, I don't like to go to social gatherings. Because I'm too depressed that day, or too suicidal that day, or I'm too fearful, and I'm too scared of people, and I have anxiety that day. And then I look at these other relationships around me of these men and women, and they're functioning. The man is functioning. And so eventually I begin to either get jealous, or usually I just sit down with the girl and say, like, hey, I feel like I'm robbing you of your life because I can't give you the things that you need. You deserve to have a full life, not this half life that I am imprisoned into for being bipolar and borderline personality. And to have the courage and the strength to actually tell somebody that you're with that is very hard, because we get very lonely when we become very suicidal. And we want somebody to love us, and we want somebody to be there for us, and we want somebody to be around us so we don't feel so suicidal or depressed or alone. And I was like, earlier today, I can't really spend an entire day inside because I start feeling like I'm in a nightmare. And it was probably around 11 o'clock, 10:30, 11 o'clock. And I was looking at something in my room. I was like looking at like a refrigerator, like a mini fridge. And I was like, oh my God, man, you gotta get the fuck out of here. Like you're going into the nightmare. Like you're going to the suicidal nightmare. And like you're going to be suicidal, like very soon, if you don't get the fuck out of this house. I don't know, man. It seems like when you're bipolar or you're borderline, you're living this life where you always either feel alone, or you're always going to be alone, or you're always living this half-life. And you're not quite whole. You always feel like empty. And the issue is, it's like, no matter how many fucking meds you're on, it feels like we could never fucking solve it. It's like this guy, it's like this never-ending riddle, where it's like, you think it's getting better because it's Friday and you're in a good mood. And then it's Saturday and it's 1:05 in the afternoon. and you feel like you're back in this fucking nightmare half-life where you feel empty. And it's just, it's confusing because you want it to be consistent and you want to be functioning, you know, and I don't know, man. But I think I'll wrap up the video with that one. And I know I don't like promote my ebook, but you should buy it, man. Amazon, $3, dude. If not for you, for your family or your friends to read, just so they fucking understand you. Especially if you're borderline. Especially if you're bipolar. Especially if you have a mental illness where you can't shower for like 30 days. I have this one chapter in there where I talk about how I didn't shower for like 30 days. The cops came and arrested me because I wasn't showering for 30 days and I was urinating in my bed because I was on so many meds. And like I didn't care if I urinated in my bed every night or every other night. So I constantly smelled like urine. Never changed my clothes. Never showered. So finally, my family called the cops. Cops came to the house. They talked to me. I wasn't suicidal. I was just so fucking far gone that they arrested me, put me in a cop car. So I got arrested and I got put in a cop car for not showering for 30-something days in a row and peeing in my own bed and not changing my clothes and constantly having urine and smelling like urine on me. I tell that story in the book. See, normal people don't understand that shit. But we could understand that shit. To shower. Have fun, guys. Take care, man.